We all remember last February when the former Prince Andrew was arrested for his involvement in the Epstein file case. But since then, nothing much has been happening, and the British are not happy about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Center Lane, a political discussion for those of us in the middle. Compromise is not a bad thing. Last February, about 6 months ago, former Prince Andrew was arrested for his involvement in the Jeffrey Epstein case. He was accused of, or arrested for, potential sex trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein, being involved in that sex trafficking ring, and he also was arrested for a misconduct of public office, which basically is a treasonous charge against his country, because at the time, during part of his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, Prince Andrew's title was Special Trade Envoy for Great Britain. So he was privy to a lot of information and trade secrets. So these are two very serious charges. What's happened in the meantime? Not much. Not much. He got some more additional things taken away from King Charles. He got his $1 million a year allowance taken away. He got kicked out of the place where his royal manor that he was living in. But King Charles put him in another place, which still isn't bad. 5 bedrooms, full staff to wait on him. He didn't get his passport taken away. He's still traveling around and stuff, trying to rebuild his image. He wants to move to one of the Gulf states, like over to the United Arab Emirates or Oman or someplace like that. Kind of a bad place to be now, right? But this way he figures he can start fresh, start anew. He still has plenty of money. Yes, they took away his allowance and they took away a lot of ways he was making money, but he's got plenty squirreled away. They say he's worth at least $5 to $7 million. So he has some money. He has a name recognition in some parts of the world. They won't seem to care too much about him. But at the end of the day, you know, nothing's happening to him. And people are getting upset over there in Great Britain. It's not only are they upset with him, they're upset with the royal family, who wants nothing to do with this, by the way. They don't want to cooperate it. They don't want anything to do with it. The cops, there's 5 different agencies over there, including Scotland Yard, that are supposedly investigating these charges. Like, once again, they're very serious. Sex trafficking, with underage girls, and he was involved in that in some way, shape, or form. Of course, he had his own thing with the Virginia Giuffre thing. She accused him when she was 17 of having sex with him 3 times. So what do the cops say they're going to do now? Or one of the investigative services over there, they're going to send some guys, a team over to talk to Virginia Giuffre's family about Prince Andrew. What are they going to know about Prince Andrew? They don't even know that much about Virginia Giuffre. That's her family, but it was her thing at the time, and they really kind of came into this whole thing late in the whole picture, not when Prince Andrew was actively involved with Jeffrey Epstein. So I would say that's just more or less kicking the can down the road, make it look like you're doing something, a diversion for the public. Hey, we're talking to this pretty famous victim from Jeffrey Epstein, who committed suicide. And they think that that's going to placate a lot of people, but people are saying, like, no, not only, there's a trail a mile long. He's been to the Epstein Island many times. The pilots of Epstein's planes even said they knew him personally. He was in his day-to-day life. And in 2010 and 2011, as far as the trade secret treasonous charges, which are really serious, those are, they don't have a death penalty in Great Britain, but that's a life sentence. If he gets charged with that, because again, that's weird how they do things. They arrested him, but they didn't charge him. Here, if you get arrested, you get charged. Generally speaking, you get arrested with a DUI, you're bailing out because you've been charged with a DUI. They don't do it like that there. They arrest you, then they investigate you. Kind of weird. So this basically makes him a free man. He still has his passport. He's still traveling around. He's living in a lap of luxury. Of course, people don't like him, but he'll find somebody to like him. He still has plenty of money. So the people in Great Britain are upset, and rightfully so. The same kind of complaints we have over here in the U.S. 2-tier justice system. Why is he a royal family getting a treatment like that? It seems like the police are dragging their feet to make, hopefully people will forget about it, but people don't forget. They're not forgetting over there either, and I'd love it if anybody from that part of the world would chimed in on the comments down below, because the temperature's rising over there with this guy, and it's looking more and more like he potentially could get away scot-free. So what's going to happen with him, God only knows, but that's similar to what's going on over here. Everybody wants us to forget. Everybody wants us to say, look the other way. But as far as Great Britain and the former Prince Andrew goes, they're not looking away. And of course, we have the same thing going on over here. And it's heating back up here, fortunately, again. More focus on Jeffrey Epstein and some of these perpetrators, which I mentioned in a previous podcast. And I will keep you guys informed of what's coming up next, too. But what do you guys think about former Prince Charles? Guilty? Probably. Have a great day. I'll talk to you again soon.